Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and it came out today that Rob Cohen, yes, the director of Triple X and the Fast and the Furious, the very first one, right? Basically, the person responsible for putting Vin Diesel on the map outside of, let's say, Steven Spielberg and Saving Private Ryan, is back out of relative obscurity with a new project. This is going to be a live action adaptation of the 90s comic book cult character Razor. Now, Razor was created and published in the early 1990s, kind of during the bad girl phase of comics back then. I want to say like maybe Tank Girls around that same time. That's at least my take on it. And she is written by Everett Hartsoe, who actually created the character after her sister's death and used it as a way to mourn for her, which I actually find that to be just really heartwarming. Like, I love that part of that story. Taking your anger and your frustration and your sadness and channeling it into something productive, even if it's a comic book, is something that is really awesome. And I feel more people need those kind of creative outlets when it comes to dealing with these situations. The loss of a loved one is one that is always hard, always hard. But as a result of her having a few issue run in the 90s and then teaming up again with the Crow in the late 90s, it's been kind of put in relative obscurity. But given how things are now with comic books, Rob Cohen feels like he is the best person to bring her out of kind of that area and thrust her into the spotlight. Now, this is being produced and financed through Number 11 Films, who's handling the worldwide sales. This is part of a partnership with Lotus Entertainment. The companies will be introducing the project to buyers at the upcoming March du Film conference. The partnership plans to produce and finance 3 to 4 films annually with the $5 million to $40 million range. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because it will give you an idea as to what kind of budget Razor will have. Now, Razor, from what I read, essentially feels a bit like an earlier version of Blood Rain. She, kind of like Blood Rain meets the Crow type thing. She is impervious to pain, she wields swords on her arms, and she tries to fight crime in Chinatown until she discovers that the person who killed her sister is still alive, and her sister's still alive, and also that person's favorite assassin. She then fights her sister, tries to turn her sister a la Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi, and then the sister then kills the bad guy, effectively killing the sister, and then the sister, Razor, is effectively resurrected later on to fight back against a resurrected bad guy. So the story's kind of, just based on a synopsis that I read, comes across a little bit wonky and one that does need to be relatively updated. Now, I don't quite know if Rob Cohen is the dude to do it. Looking at his roster, this is a guy, keep in mind, that, he's known for Triple X. He's known for the Fast and the Furious. But he also did Dragonheart, which was badass, from the 90s. He also did Daylight, which I thought was really good. Stallone stuck in a tunnel film. He did The Skulls with Paul Walker and Joshua Jackson back in 2000. And then, of course, The Fast and the Furious, Triple X. He did Stealth, which came out in 2005, and not a lot of people are looking forward to. That movie, surprisingly, is better than I thought it was going to be. But then he did, and this is where it kind of goes downhill, is he did The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor in 2008. Now, I'm a big Mummy fan. Loved Mummy 1, loved Mummy 2. Mummy 3, not a very good movie, lots of problems with it. Good to see the characters return, but not in the way that really felt like it touched in with what Stephen Sommers had done with the previous 2 films. And I don't really fault Rob Cohen for that. It's kind of hard to go in to a trilogy at the 3rd film when the other 2 were done by the same guy. There's going to be, feelings there. Never mind the fact that there are also casting changes with Rachel Weisz being replaced with someone else whose name I can't remember right now. And then he followed that up with a couple years later with Alex Cross, the Tyler Perry remake or kind of reboot of the same character Morgan Freeman made famous from Kiss the Girls and Along Came a Spider. And that also tanked. So he's kind of been in relative obscurity for a while, maybe kind of in like bad director hangout territory. And this is his chance to come forward. However, there was around 2008, Rob Cohen was rumored to be writing and directing the remake of The Monster Squad, a remake that I am so glad never actually happened. I'm so thankful that never came out. But I'm curious to see how this one goes. Razor's not a character I know anything about. Her kind of being referred to as the female Crow is one that I find to be interesting because I love the first Crow movie, not so much the second Crow movie. But we're at a time right now where these low-budget superhero movies need to come out. They need to come out, for one, in order to show the Hollywood that the budgets can be reined in and that compelling, interesting character pieces about these types of characters can be done. Two, this is going to be a female-led movie, so that's totally fine. Having more of those characters on the screen is totally fine by me. We haven't got a lot of those kind of obscure ones in a while, so I'm glad to see that kind of stuff making a comeback. So ultimately, I wish Rob Cohen and company the best of luck trying to get this project off the ground. I feel that it's something that as they progress, and given his track record, I prefer more of his movies than not. And I'm hoping that he's able to kind of touch into what made him, well, I guess more famous, or what made him good back in the day. You know, he hasn't really had a lot of hits recently. Nothing really actually since the early 2000s. So we're talking like, 16, 17 years ago. And maybe he's got this in him and it will knock it out of the park and we'll all be pleasantly surprised. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think Razor is going to be an interesting character? Do you think it's kind of been done before? It's a bit cliche. Maybe they need to kind of revamp it for modern times. I'm just curious to know your thoughts on this one. As always, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, talking about movies, geeking out about stuff. It's why I want to do this channel, just talking about all the crazy things in Hollywood and why I love it. And if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, comment below, share it around, get your friends in on the combo too. That'd be wonderful. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Peace out.